Here's a very interesting section, that is pointers. Let us start with what is a pointer. In this section, we would learn what are pointer variables, address of and dereference operators, and how to declare pointers. In earlier lessons, variables have been explained as locations in computer's memory which can be accessed by their name, that is variable name. This way, the program does not need to take care about the physical address of the data in memory. It simply uses the identifier whenever it needs to refer to the variable. The memory of a computer is like a succession of memory cells. Each has 1 byte of size and each has a unique address. These single byte memory cells are ordered in a way that allows data representation larger than 1 byte to occupy memory cells that have consecutive addresses. This memory can be assigned and deassigned using pointer variables. Pointer variables are variables that points to a specific address in memory pointed by another variable. Before studying the core concepts of pointer, let us first learn what is address of operator. To first understand pointers, we should first know how data is stored in a computer. Each variable we create in our program is assigned a location in computer's memory. The value the variable stores is actually stored in location assigned. To know where the data is stored, the reference operator gives the address occupied by the variable. Let us take an example. Let's say we have declared this integer variable var with a value 4, and now we would print the address of variable using &var. So it would give the exact hexadecimal address representation of this variable. Here we will get the output somewhat as a hexadecimal number. This is nothing but the address of this variable. It can be anything according to the memory allocated. Now comes the second operator, dereference operator. As we have seen just now, a variable which stores the address of another variable is called pointer. Pointers are said to point to the variable whose address they store. So basically, a pointer variable stores the address of some variable, and on that address of variable, the actual value of the variable is stored. An interesting property of pointer is that they can be used to access the variable they point to directly. This is done by preceding the pointer name with dereference operator. The operator itself can be read as value pointed to by. Let us see an example. Here we have declared one variable myvar which has a value 25. We have one pointer which stores address of myvar. So basically this variable foo will be having address of variable myvar. And we have another variable bar which is directly assigned to a variable myvar. So let us see its memory allocation. Here is the variable myvar at address 1776. It has a value 25. Now we have another variable foo which contains the address of myvar. So the value of foo would be 1776. Now we have a third variable, that is bar, which has been directly assigned to myvar. So the value of myvar is 25. So the value of bar would also be 25. That is represented here. Now, if we print myvar, then the value of myvar variable would get printed, that is 25. If we would print address of myvar, then 1776 would be printed because the address of this variable is 1776. Now, if we print the value of foo, then it would print 1776 because we have stored address of myvar in the variable foo. So foo would contain 1776. Now by using dereference operator, if we write star foo, that means star foo means the value pointed by foo. That means that is the value at address 1776 is 25. So star foo would give the value 25. So basically star foo is equal to this variable. Now how to declare a pointer? Due to ability of pointer to directly refer to the value that it points to, a pointer has different properties when it points to a character than when it points to integer or float. Now once dereferenced, that is when the dereference operator is used, the type needs to be known. And for that, the declaration of pointer needs to include the data type the pointer is pointing to. So the declaration of pointer is of this syntax. We specify the data type which this pointer variable would be pointing to. Let's say p is pointing to an integer variable, so the data type of pointer p would also be an integer. Now we can use this star either with p or either with int, no matter where the space is. It means the same. Here the statement defines a pointer variable p. It holds memory address. The asterisk is the dereference operator used here, which simply means it points to. Now here p points to a type of integer. That is, it is pointing to an integer value in the memory address stored in variable p. Some common mistakes. Let's say we have an integer var and we have its corresponding pointer variable p, that is of type int star. Now if we need this pointer to point to this variable var, we need to first store the address of var in pointer variable p. So we cannot write ptr equals to var. It would just mean that the value of variable is stored in ptr, but we want address of variable to be stored in ptr. So we would write ptr is equals to address of var. This is the correct method. Also, the common mistake made is we use both dereference operator and address of operator simultaneously, which is wrong. Because value pointed to ptr would be var. It would not be address of var. So the correct method is star ptr is equals to value of var. Now let us work on pointers and get it more clear with the help of code. Let me first include header file, start with a main function, and now let's say I have a variable var with value 5 and I have a pointer variable, say ptr. Now I need to assign ptr to address of var, so I can write ptr is equals to address of var, or else we can also write star ptr, that is value pointed to by ptr, is equals to var. Both of these mean a same. You can use any of them. Now let us print value of var is %d and it would represent var. Now let us again print the address of var. Address of var. Now the format specified for printing the address is %x and we would write address of var. Now let us print the value stored in pointer variable ptr. So value stored in pointer would be as it stores the address. So the format specified used here will be %x and it would represent ptr. Now let us print value pointed by pointer, and as it points an integer value, format specified here would be %d. And now as it is pointing to an integer variable, that means we need to dereference this pointer. So we would use the dereference operator, that is star ptr. Now let us look at the result. Here the value of var is 5 and the address of var is 61ff18. Now the value stored in pointer would be the address of variable, that is again same 61ff8, and the value pointed by pointer would be 5, that is the value of var. Now I think it is much more clear where to use address operator and where to use dereference operator. Let's have a quick recap. Pointer variables are variables that points to a specific address in memory pointed by another variable. The address of operator, that is reference operator, returns the address occupied by variable. The format specifier used to print the address is %x. The dereference operator simply means value at given address. So if we need to print the value using pointer, we use the dereference operator, which gives the value at the given address stored in pointer. In the next coming lesson, that is pointer arithmetic, we would be learning incrementing and decrementing a pointer and some important points about pointers.